Hey guys, this is Carla, and this time I'm here to do a review for episode 11 of season 1 of Shadowhunters. This episode is titled Blood Calls to Blood, and in true Shadowhunter fashion, what goes up must come down, and this episode was not good. I should have expected it, really. I was so excited about it. I should have expected it to not be good, but that's what I got for believing in this show. No, I'm kidding. I'm really hoping that they do go up from here again, because we're only 2 episodes away from the season finale. So I do hope that those last 2 episodes are good, because the past few episodes have been really great and I've been enjoying myself so far. But this one, here we are. This is the big twist. You know, this is what made the Mortal Instruments famous, okay? This is what made everyone's head explode when they read City of Bones. This is the big reveal. Clary and Jace are siblings. And I could not care less. It's like they didn't even... I mean, of course I care because I've read the books and I'm a fan and I've already been through this issue, you know? But there was just no emotional stake to it. It's weird, okay? Because first off, we all knew, and I think I said this in my review before, like, we all knew that Michael Wayland was going to turn out to be Valentine, okay? It was as obvious as humanly possible. As obvious as they could get it without actually writing it out, like, on a sign somewhere in the episode, like, Michael Wayland is going to end up being Valentine Morgenstern. We all saw that coming, right? I mean, come on. We all saw that coming. The thing is, for the big reveal, we've heard so little of Michael Wayland through the season. I mean, there was the Falcon story. That's about it. And then we weren't really told that story was actually a true story that happened to Jace with his father. We didn't even know until this episode. I mean, I knew, but the general audience did not know, right? So we don't know Michael Wayland. We knew he was dead. That's about it. We didn't know what he was like. We didn't know how he died. We didn't know what Jace saw the day he died. We didn't know what his relationship with Jace was like, apart from the Falcon thing. So there was no build up to it. And they tried to kind of make him pass off as a loving father in this episode. Kind of, sort of. I mean, they sort of wanted him to seem loving enough that it would touch us, like Jace's affection for him would actually touch us. But at the same time, they wanted him to be strange enough or suspicious enough that we could sort of see how Michael Wayland was actually Valentine the whole time. You know, we could kind of learn that there was something off with Michael Wayland the entire time. But they tried to do those things both at the same time and within the same episode, and it did not work. Okay? I felt nothing when Valentine revealed himself. Like, Dom was trying so hard to, you know, make us feel that his father was revealed to be the big bad of the show, and his heart was broken, and blah blah blah, and now, you know, he was all distraught because he turned out to be Clary's sibling, Clary's brother, and whatnot, and it had no emotional effect whatsoever. He tried hard. I have to give it to him. He tried hard, but it didn't work. It didn't work. You can't do all those things in one episode after you haven't done them in the whole season. Okay? It doesn't work. And, I mean, at least they didn't make it as obvious as the movie did, because in the movie, I think they even inserted that one scene when he's like, if they were aware that you were lying to them, so you knew that Clary and Jace aren't really siblings. At least they didn't do that here, which I'm happy about. You know? But still, there's no subtlety here. You don't really even for 1 second doubt that it will turn out to be that they're not siblings somehow. So it didn't work for me, the reveal at all. I liked, though, that they had Clary kind of suspect something, but she really had no basis in it, not really. I mean, yes, that was the whole thing with with her thinking, that maybe there was something off about him, whatever, and then she was talking to Luke, and she's like, when was that? And Luke is like, 20 years ago. She's like, 20 years? Like, we're supposed to remember that she has an older brother, kind of, and associate it with that, but then you remember, Michael Wayland did not die 20 years ago. He did not die when Jace was a baby. He died when Jace was already grown up. So, I don't know exactly what they were trying to imply with that, 20 years ago line thing. So I don't know. I mean, it didn't do anything for me. The trial, on the other hand, I mean, I didn't like it either, because I think like Lydia said, the whole trial was just based on a bunch of bullshit. I did like, however, that Magnus was defending her. I didn't necessarily like the way he was brought in, but I did like that he was defending her. Not so much defending her as, putting the clave down, because that's a very Magnus thing to do, and I love it when he makes, like, those grand speeches about how the clave are just a bunch of egotistical, Shadowhunters who just think about themselves. I love that about Magnus. I love that the reason that he was able to defend her was because of a loophole in the hole, because, in the law, because we do see a lot of that in the books. It's like Shadowhunters can't even conceive that they might even associate with Downworlders, so they don't put that in their law. And, they're such sticklers to the law that they can't really, complain about it, because it's the law, and the law lets Magnus do stuff like that. So I like that. I actually really like that, but the whole trial was a sham. Come on. I have to give props to Emerald, though, because that speech that Isabel gave when she was on the stand, I thought she did amazing with that. I did like a few things about the trial plot. I did like that they showed the mortal sword, even though that's not how it works, not really. I mean, sure, you can touch it, and it won't do anything to Downworlders, so Magnus shouldn't really even have been any scared. He probably should know how that works already. It wouldn't have done anything to him. And the whole trial by sword thing is when they actually put the sword in your hands through the whole time that you're speaking, and that way you can't lie. But they didn't do that here. They just had them, like, touch the sword, like, for half a second, and then that's it. And it doesn't work like that. But I do appreciate them having the sword there. It's a hint of things to come, for sure. And I do appreciate that it was one of the Silent Brothers who brought it in. The Inquisitor, I didn't like her in the books. I've never really liked her in the TV show either. Like, she's there, she's okay. I don't really care about her. But casting was okay, I guess. I really liked that Lydia actually saw that what she was doing was wrong and withdrew the charges, even though that didn't really help. But I've been saying for the last few episodes, I actually really like Lydia. I think she's an okay girl, even though I don't want her to marry Magnus, obviously, and to marry Alec, obviously, but she's an okay girl. It's not her fault that she's in the middle of, like, the biggest ship of the entire fandom, but I like her, and I like that they had her do the right thing here, because I guess it kind of makes her look better in the eyes of the fandom, I guess. I hope. At least I'm crossing my fingers right now, because I really think she's a great character, even though she's a stickler for the law, but we saw in this episode that she's actually, thinking that through. One thing I did love about this episode, though, was, again, every scene that Alec and Izzy had together, I loved. Okay, they are so great together. They're such great as siblings. They're so great. I love that Lydia's like, yeah, you have two siblings who disagree on everything except the fact that they love each other to death. And I thought, oh my god, that is perfect. Okay, I love that so much. And as far as the other plot goes, I did like, however, that when Clary, tricked Valentine into thinking he had the cup, and he realized it was a glamour, it was like a world's greatest dad mug. I thought that was hysterical. But apart from that, I mean, the rest of the episode was just like, meh. I didn't really care. I did begin to, like, enjoy it a little bit more, though, in the aftermath. Like, everything after, most of everything after Valentine's reveal, I did like the aftermath of it, them taking Jocelyn to the Institute, just conversation between Jace and Clary was good, conversation between Jace and Alec was good, and then of course that bit with Magnus and Alec, which I really, really, really enjoyed. I thought that was an amazing conversation, really. Both of them, both Matt and Harry, did really amazing with that scene, so I really enjoyed it. The Simon thing, not so much. It was like, I mean, come on. I know that he's in love with Clary and all, and he thinks now he has a chance because the dude that was her boyfriend turned out to be her brother. Now he thinks he has a chance, but it's a little bit, jerkish of him to be like, oh, no, I have a chance, without even realizing that Clary's life, his best friend's life, is like going to pieces right now. Like, if I were a best friend, above the fact that I was in love with that person, I would be worried about them and wanting to, to make them feel better and to be there for them, rather than thinking, oh, now I can get in her pants. No, that was weird. I did not like that scene. But the rest of the ending I did enjoy. So yeah, I mean, overall, it was not a good episode, not really. There were snippets here and there that I liked, that made me laugh, or that made me cheer a little bit, but for the most part, the whole thing was just kind of pointless, and it didn't have the emotional impact that I wanted it to have. Instead, it sort of, like, as Simon was kind of recapping it at the end, it's like Luke telling him about what really happened, it just sounded so soap opera-ish to me, which it does in the book as well, but at the same time, the fact that in the TV show, it didn't have as much emotional impact makes it a bit worse in my ears. So, I mean, the whole thing just felt cheap, felt too easy. I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed because this was the big deal. This was the big freaking moment. And they blew it, and I don't know. I really do hope that the next 2 episodes are going to be better. Because the show has done okay for the most part in the previous episodes. I actually really enjoyed the previous two. And I want to see it go out well, But this one wasn't all that great. If, if this is any indication of what's coming, then I'm not thrilled, but I'm keeping my hopes up that the next 2 episodes are actually going to be on the good side, because this show has been very uneven this season, and although I like it and I will keep watching it, I can't help but feel that unevenness. Every episode, it's like, will this be good or will this be awful? It's like before I watch it, I actually ask myself that question every episode, so this was one of the not so good ones, and not much I can do about it. But I guess we'll see what they do with the last 2 episodes, especially now that they have Jocelyn back, which is cool, because they've been looking for her for the entire season, but now she's back, even if she can't wake up. So, I want to see what they do with that, And hopefully, at least the parts that are good, they will continue, I hope. I still think Alec and Jace need to have a talk about Alec's feelings. Like a serious talk, because so far, I mean, they're still they're still not talking to each other, which is strange for me because I'm so used to them being best friends and stuff. But I don't know. I like the way Alec is. Like, I can understand why he's doing what he's doing. I can understand why Jace is doing what he's doing. So I want to see some resolution there, hopefully, and I hope it will be good. So that Jocelyn, then the Jason Alec thing, and of course, is Lydia gonna die? Because I still have that feeling that either she's going to die or she's going to be like exiled to like the Siberia Institute or something, like totally banished. Especially now that she backtalked to the Inquisitor. So I don't know. Those are my primary concerns. The rest of it I don't really care about. But I do hope that the show kind of redeems itself from this bag of crap that was this episode. Sorry, I'm being so harsh. I'm really disappointed because this was the big one. I'm sorry. I'm really disappointed right now. But yeah, I will shut up now before I keep putting my foot into my mouth here. So that's it for my review. As always, be sure to visit our website at thegeekypub.com. We have reviews not just for previous Shadowhunters episodes, the good ones and the bad ones, but also for other TV shows, books, movies, games. We have a ton of stuff in there, so be sure to visit and check it out. And also, if you guys don't want to miss anything that we upload, then you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's usually where our reviews go up first. Most of the time, even before they hit the website, they're up on YouTube, so that's the surefire way to be notified whenever we upload something new. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that's it from me today. I will see you guys in my next review. Bye!